Good evening, and thanks for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Brooke Buckner here with Nick Luttrell and meteorologist Simone Thomas. And Nick, I want to start with you because it is a great day to be a Hog fan.
Oh, it's always a great day to be a Hog fan, but especially when they
it's more fun when they win.
Yeah, the baseball team getting a really nice win, and the men's basketball team just wrapping up about an hour ago. Really impressive.
It was a close one too.
It was close.
Yeah.
Both of them were close. I was very stressed out watching these games, but they were exciting. It was a good time.
Awesome. We'll hear much more about it coming up here in sports, but first we got to talk about the weather and the nice weather we're expecting here soon.
Yeah, I mean, this past week has been cold. There's not enough ways to describe the past week. Let's kind of take a short trip down memory lane now. Last Sunday, we hit 50 exactly. Then from there, it was just downhill. We spent a couple of days completely below freezing. Today, we at least got up to the upper 40s, but tomorrow, things are getting a little bit closer to what's considered the norm for this time of year. We'll start out the day and much of the afternoon with a mix of clouds and sun. We may even have mostly cloudy skies at some points, but through the late afternoon into evening, clear skies, a lot of sunshine expected as temperatures climb to the middle and upper 50s. Here's a look across the state tomorrow, which you could see the farther west you go, a little bit warmer it'll be, but this is right around what's considered the average for this time of year, and it's getting even warmer from here. A detailed look at the week ahead is coming up in just a few.
Thanks, Simone. Tonight, one woman has been charged after a homicide in Little Rock Friday afternoon. 40-year-old Shannon Brown is now behind bars and has been charged with capital murder in what began as a routine trespass call at Cumberland Towers. However, once police got to the scene, they found a man dead inside one of the rooms. Tonight, the investigation is still underway. And Arkansas State Police making a big drug bust on Thursday. This is a look at the 42 boxes that were found with more than 1,700 pounds of marijuana inside. The two drivers, who are from out of state, face felony charges of trafficking a controlled substance and possession of drug paraphernalia. A pair of bills that could reshape Arkansas's alcohol industry now headed for the governor's desk. THV 11's Carter Thweet tells us what these bills would do and why some liquor store owners have opposed them.
Brooke, the two bills in question are Senate Bills 97 and 98. We're going to start with 97, which would allow people or corporations that own one liquor permit to buy some more. But this does come with a few restrictions.
This bill does not expand the amount of liquor permits available in the state of Arkansas.
Senator Bart Hester is the sponsor of SB 97, which would increase the number of liquor licenses a company can have from 1 to 3. The catch is that you can only have a maximum of 1 per county, and these additional licenses have to be in counties with over 200,000 people.
Today, that means Benton County, Washington County, and Pulaski County.
The bill has seen opposition from local liquor store owners who are worried that it'll allow big corporations to buy up all the liquor licenses, hurting mom-and-pop stores. Possibly helping their case is the fact that retailers like Walmart support the bill. Their director of public affairs, Michael Lindsay, testified in favor of it, but said the fears of small liquor stores are misplaced.
It limits it to 1 per county, which still encourages competition. A company or a person can't own 3 liquor stores in one city. So it's 1 liquor store, 1 city, 1 county. So you still have strong competition among all of the liquor store owners.
Ultimately, the bill made it through the Senate and the House and now just needs a signature from the governor to become law. The same is true for SB 98, which would allow grocery and convenience stores to deliver alcohol to wet counties. Currently, only liquor stores are allowed to do this.
This is not new to the state, it's just expanding a little bit on who is allowed to deliver.
The bill would also allow third-party companies like DoorDash to deliver alcohol in the same way. In a statement sent to THV 11, DoorDash said that this system will allow them to work with local businesses to make more money for them and DoorDash workers. But John Crow, a Sherwood liquor store owner, worries that third-party services won't be able to handle these deliveries responsibly.
If you're a minimum wage employee just running around in a van making deliveries and nobody's coming to the door, are you going to go make your next delivery? Amazon wants you to keep a schedule. Are you going to wait there for 10, 15 minutes for them to come answer the door to check their ID?
We can say that, at least for DoorDash, they have told us they have strict policies in place to ensure that IDs are checked before alcohol is delivered. You can read more about that on our website, thv11.com. We also reached out to the governor's office to see if these bills have been signed, and we're told a decision has not been made as of this time.
All right, thanks, Carter. Lawmakers are also pushing to regulate short-term rentals in the state like Airbnbs and Verbos. House Bill 1445 aims to establish more state-level oversight rather than leaving it up to local governments. Republican Representative Britt McKenzie says this bill is necessary to protect property rights and dismantle overly restricted regulations cities and counties have in place. But not everyone agrees, including North Little Rock Mayor Terry Hartwick.
We're not against STRs. We're just trying to say there should be so many in this neighborhood, and to have it where you can have 6 or 7 that disrupts the whole neighborhood. And that's what it's about. Just letting us keep in control of the area that we're responsible for.
This strengthens by creating guidelines for local control. What it takes away are arbitrary or seemingly, as the winds blow, regulations on them.
Mayor Hartwick told us he's spoken to other mayors in the area who are against the bill. The proposal is expected to be heard on the House floor in the next few weeks. Moving over now to continuing coverage in Jefferson County, where a new justice of the peace has been appointed. The last few months have been both tense and controversial as leaders in the county are still working on approving a budget for 2025. Failed meeting after failed meeting has led to the tension and is part of the reason the former JP resigned. Richard Victorino hopes he can be a voice for the people in his new role.
I'm there to represent the whole community. Right, wrong, or indifferent, my opinion is going to be in the best interest of the whole community.
Victorino is the former constable of the Spring Township and volunteers with the fire department. He says the quorum court still fully intends to pass a budget. As of right now, the county has reverted back to last year's budget thanks to Senate Bill 182. Meanwhile, tonight, new torment by Hamas terrorists in Gaza. They released a propaganda video showing 2 hostages being forced to watch the staged release of fellow captives. CBS's Deborah Patta in East Jerusalem reports that in Israel, the latest hostage release brought a sense of joy and mourning.
Finally, Cherie Bibas has come home. In the early hours of this morning, braving miserable weather, mourners lined the streets to pay their respects to the young mother and her 2 dead boys. But for a few families, there were also tears of joy today as 6 more hostages were released by Hamas. I've dreamt of this moment so much, you have no idea, said Omer Shem Tov as he embraced his parents. Elia Cohen's release culminated in an emotional reunion with his girlfriend Ziv Abud. The couple were at the Nova Music Film Festival on October 7. He had no idea she'd survived the terror attack until today. In Gaza, relatives also waited anxiously for the more than 600 Palestinians jailed in Israel who were due to be freed in exchange for the hostages. I want to fly in the air, said Soraya Abu Deraz. I can't wait for him to come home. 4 more bodies are expected to be handed over by Hamas in the coming week. Then that's it. The 6-week truce ends. Talks to extend the ceasefire for a second round have still not been finalized. The second phase of the deal will have to decide who controls Gaza. Hamas wants a complete withdrawal of Israeli troops. Israel wants the rest of the hostages freed, the territory demilitarized, and Hamas out. Deborah Patta, CBS News, East Jerusalem.
President Trump spoke on hostage releases along with several other topics at the last day of the Conservative Political Action Conference in Maryland this afternoon. He also spoke on signing an executive order to end birthright citizenship.
I wish people would understand that so they could get this thing approved and we don't have millions and millions of people coming into our country, and they shouldn't be here.
Senator Bernie Sanders also speaking to discuss the most pressing issues facing working class people and outlining how Americans can fight back against President Trump and Elon Musk amid some of the changes his administration has pushed for over the last month.
And that is what we are fighting for: government of the people, by the people, for the people, not a government of the billionaires, by the billionaires, or for the billionaires. But it is not just oligarchy, as dangerous as that is. It's not just oligarchy that we are fighting. We are also fighting what is equally dangerous, and that is Trump's moving this country to authoritarianism.
Tonight, former Los Angeles Fire Department Chief Kristen Crowley has released a statement after being ousted Friday afternoon. LA Mayor Karen Bass says Crowley refused to complete an after-action report of the disaster the Palisades fire caused, and also said she failed to provide adequate staffing levels when destructive fire weather was in the forecast. In a statement, Crowley said in part, quote, "It has been an absolute honor to represent and lead the men and women of one of the greatest fire departments in the world. I am extremely proud of the work, sacrifice, and dedication of our LAFD members, both sworn and civilian," end quote. Developing news out of Pennsylvania tonight, where 2 are dead and 5 have been injured after a shooting at a hospital this morning. According to the York County District Attorney, the shooter entered UPMC Memorial Hospital with a bag including a handgun and zip ties. He then shot 3 officers before being shot dead. One of the officers later died, while the others are in stable condition. Next at 10, Central Arkansas raising money for the Special Olympics. See who was brave enough to take this year's polar plunge.
Well, some of those races that were originally scheduled for today have been rescheduled for tomorrow. So if you're headed to Hot Springs, you can expect some clouds early in the afternoon that'll give way to sunshine later in the afternoon with highs in the middle 50s. Your 11-day outlook is coming up right after the break.